You are here somewhere. Maybe you can't see exactly where you are and it feels distant or unclear. But the truth remains, you exist in a specific place, even if you can't pinpoint it. Whether you're in a familiar spot or somewhere new, you are definitely somewhere. This simple fact is both grounding and mysterious. No one really knows why we're here or how we ended up in this exact place. All we know for sure is that right now, you are here, present, alive, and part of something much bigger than yourself. Imagine yourself magnetized to a strange, lushly coated wet rock floating in endless nothing. This is Earth, our home, suspended in the vastness of space. It's a tiny rock compared to the universe, yet it's everything to us. Here you breathe, drink, eat, and live. The rock provides all you need, even though it's just a speck in the cosmic ocean. It's easy to forget how extraordinary it is to be here on this small planet, surrounded by infinite darkness and possibility. Now let's zoom out a little. Suddenly you see how small you are compared to the world around you. Zoom out even further, and you become almost invisible, a tiny dot on a tiny rock. Your mind can barely comprehend just how small you truly are in the grand scheme of things. It's a humbling perspective, reminding us that our worries and problems might not be as big as they seem when viewed from a cosmic distance. Picture yourself standing on this tiny rock, floating through a dark, massive, unending universe. The universe could be anything and nothing at the same time, yet this rock gives you life. It provides air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and a brief window of time to exist. This window might feel long or incredibly short, but compared to the universe, it's almost nothing, a single frame in an endless movie. Our existence is just a single frame in an endless movie. If that frame disappeared, the movie would remain unchanged. During this tiny frame, you will live and then you will die. No one truly knows what happens after. If you're lucky, a few people will remember you for a while, friends, family, maybe lovers. They will miss you, but eventually they will move on because grief forever would destroy their lives. One day, those who remember you will also pass away, and the memories will fade. Eventually, every person, every story, every name will disappear, not because they weren't meaningful, but because time erases everything. This is not a sad truth, but a reminder of the impermanence of life. It encourages us to focus on what truly matters while we are here. Think about this for a moment. Whatever you're worried about right now, a first date, a job interview, an exam, or a difficult conversation might feel like your entire life depends on it. It can seem as if the fate of your world hangs on that moment, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. Against all imaginable odds, you are here, alive, conscious, and aware in this strange universe. It's a miracle that life, intelligence, and you exist at all. Yet we spend so much of this miracle worrying. The ability to plan for the future is one of the foundations of human civilization, but too often, we let worry take over. Instead of appreciating the wonder of being alive, we get caught up in anxieties about what might happen next. Planning for the future is essential. Without planning, humanity would never have built great structures, advanced science, or explored space. Take the Cologne Cathedral in Germany, for example. Construction began in 1248 and was completed in 1880. Generations of people spent their entire lives building something they would never see finished. Planning allows us to achieve incredible things. Planning is constructive. It focuses on actions we can take to shape the future. It's about preparing, organizing, and working toward goals. This is how humanity has achieved so much, by looking ahead and taking steps to make dreams a reality. But planning is different from worrying. While planning is about action, worrying is about fear. Worrying is destructive. It's the attempt to control what we cannot control. Instead of preparing for the future, we become trapped inside endless imaginary scenarios. Most of these scenarios never happen, but they drain our energy and keep us stuck. Worrying is like running on a treadmill, lots of effort, but no real progress. There is one undeniable truth about the future. It is uncertain. Throughout history, countless people have claimed they could predict the future, but most predictions were vague or completely wrong. Our minds hate uncertainty, so they try to fill the unknown with possibilities. This can be useful, but it can also lead to endless worry. Our minds are powerful. When we anticipate financial problems, for example, we might save money. This is imagination at work, helping us prepare. But worrying is different. Instead of considering possibilities once, the mind repeats them again and again, creating hundreds of imaginary futures. Most of these never come true. When the moment finally arrives, only one thing actually happens. Often, the situation we feared never occurs at all. All those imaginary futures dissolve, and reality is usually less dramatic than we expected. This shows how much time and energy we waste on worries that never materialize. As Eckhart Tolle once said, worry pretends to be necessary but serves no useful purpose. When we worry, we are trying to control the future, but the future cannot be controlled. The only thing we can control is our actions in the present moment. Ironically, worrying makes this harder, because it distracts us from what we can actually do right now. The more we live in the future, the less energy we have to act in the present. Instead of doing the work, we become trapped in anxiety. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. The present moment is the only place where change is possible." By focusing on manageable steps, we can slowly shape the future. Worrying about it endlessly only prevents action. When we take small, practical steps, we move forward. But when we get stuck in worry, we freeze and miss opportunities to make a difference. Another reason to stop worrying is simple. We don't actually know what outcomes are good or bad. There's an old Taoist story about a farmer whose horse ran away. His neighbors called it terrible luck, but the farmer replied, maybe. The next day the horse returned with 3 wild horses. The neighbors called it wonderful, but again the farmer said, maybe. Events that seem bad can turn out well, and vice versa. Later, the farmer's son broke his leg trying to ride one of the wild horses. The neighbors called it misfortune, but the farmer answered, maybe. The next day, soldiers came to draft young men, but the farmer's son was spared because of his broken leg. What seemed like bad luck became good luck. This story reminds us that we simply do not know how events will turn out. Good and bad events often change meaning over time. Something that seems terrible today may become a blessing tomorrow, and something wonderful today might become a problem later. We simply do not know. This uncertainty is part of life, and worrying about it doesn't help. Worrying damages our mental and physical health. It creates a cycle of fear that weakens both the body and mind. When we worry, we stress ourselves out over things that may never happen, and this stress takes a real toll on our well-being. But when we understand that most worries never happen, that the future cannot be controlled, and that we cannot perfectly judge events, worrying begins to lose its power. We start to see worry for what it is, a habit that doesn't serve us. This realization is the first step toward letting go. When we let go of worry, we can finally focus on what truly matters. Living, exploring, connecting, loving, laughing, crying, trying, failing, and experiencing the strange, beautiful absurdity of being a conscious creature on a tiny rock floating through the universe. No matter what happens, you can still do all of these things. Life is about experience, good and bad, joy and sorrow, success and failure. Each moment is an opportunity to live fully, to be present, and to appreciate the miracle of existence. Being alive means being aware. It means noticing the world around you, feeling emotions, and making choices. Awareness is a gift that allows us to experience life in all its complexity. Even in difficult times, awareness gives us the power to choose how we respond. One of the most meaningful parts of life is connecting with others. Friends, family, and even strangers can enrich our lives in unexpected ways. These connections remind us that we are not alone on this journey, and that sharing our experiences makes life more vibrant. Life is also about exploration, trying new things, visiting new places, and learning about the world. The unknown can be scary, but it's also exciting. Every new experience adds depth and meaning to your story, making your time on this tiny rock even more special. Emotions are a fundamental part of being human. We laugh, cry, love, and sometimes feel pain. Each emotion, whether pleasant or difficult, is a sign that we are alive and engaged with the world. Embracing our emotions helps us grow and connect with others. Trying new things means sometimes failing, but failure is not the end, it's a step on the path to growth. Each failure teaches us something valuable and brings us closer to success. The willingness to try, even when we might fail, is what makes life interesting and meaningful. There's a strange, beautiful absurdity to being a conscious creature on a tiny rock floating through the universe. Life doesn't always make sense, but that's part of its charm. Embracing the absurd helps us find joy in unexpected places and appreciate the mystery of existence. We often try to control everything, but the universe is far too vast and unpredictable. Letting go of the need to control outcomes frees us to focus on what we can actually influence: our actions, our attitudes, and our relationships. Uncertainty can be uncomfortable, but it's also what makes life exciting. Not knowing what will happen next keeps us curious and open to new possibilities. The beauty of uncertainty is that it allows for surprise, growth, and discovery. The present moment is all we truly have. By focusing on the here and now, we can find peace and contentment. The past is gone, and the future is unknown, but the present is real and full of possibility. This is where life happens. Instead of worrying, take action. Even small steps can make a big difference over time. Action builds confidence and creates momentum, helping you move forward even when the future is uncertain. Doing something is always better than doing nothing.